or older, a natural-born citizen or resident in the United States for at least 14 years. The requirements to be vice president are about the same. You have to be 35 years or older, a natural-born citizen, or a U.S. resident for at least 14 years.
The current president of the United States is Donald James Trump. The vice president is Mike Pence. The responsibilities of the president is to apply and enforce the laws written by Congress and to that end appoint the heads of the federal agencies, including the cabinet. Some of the examples that he has to do is the chief of state. In this role, it requires a president to be inspiring example for the American people. In some nations, the chief of state is a king or queen who wears a crown on special occasions, celebrations, and national holidays. He stands for the highest values and ideals of the country. As an American chief of state, the president is a living symbol of the nation. It is considered a great honor for any citizen to shake the president's hand. The next one is the chief executive. The president is a boss for millions of government workers in the executive branch. He or she decides how the laws of the United States are enforced and chooses official advisors to help run the executive branch. The next one is the chief diplomat. The president decides what American diplomats and ambassadors shall say to foreign governments with the help of advisors. The president makes the foreign policy of the United States. The next one is the chief in command, the commander-in-chief. The president is in charge of the United States Army forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps. The president decides where troops shall be stationed, where they shall be sent, and how weapons shall be used. All the military government generals and admirals take their orders from the president. The next one is the legislative leader. Only Congress has the actual power to make laws, but the Constitution gives the president power to influence Congress in its lawmaking. Presidents may urge Congress to pass new laws or veto bills that do not favor. The next one is the chief of party. In this role, the president helps members of his or her political party get elected or appointed to office. The president campaigns for those members who have supported his or her politics. At the end of the term, the president may campaign for re-election. Last but not least is the guardian of an economy. In this role, the president is concerned with such things as unemployment, high prices, taxes, business, and profits. The general prosperity of the country, the president does not control the economy, but it is expected to help run smoothly.
The term length for the president is 4 years. The number of terms is 2. The same is for the vice president. Line of succession. Presidential succession in case of removal of the president from office or of his death, resignation, or inability to discharge the powers and duties of the said office. The same shall devolve on the vice president, and the Congress may by law provide for the case of removal, death, resignation, or inability both of president and vice president, declaring what officer shall then act as president, and such officer shall act accordingly until the disability be removed, and a president shall be elected. The line of succession goes president, vice president, Speaker of the House, Senate President pro tempore, cabinet members. The responsibilities of the electors. On the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December, the electors meet in their respective states to cast their votes for President and Vice President of the United States. The voters of each state choose electors to serve in the Electoral College. As soon as election results are final, the state prepares 7 original certificates of ascertainment of the electors chosen and send 1 original along with 2 certified copies of the Archivist of the United States at the Office of the Federal Register. The electors of each state meet to select the President and Vice President of the United States. To appoint electors, the United States Constitution and federal law do not prescribe the method of appointment other than requiring that electors must be appointed on the Tuesday after the first Monday in November. State conventions or central committee meetings, then the citizens of each state appoint the electors by popular vote. Prepare the certificate of ascertainment. After the general election, the governor of each state prepares 7 original certificates of ascertainment. Distribute the Certificate of ascertainment. One of the 7 original certificates of ascertainment, along with 2 certified copies, must be sent by registered mail or commercial carrier to the archivist. Hold a meeting of electors. On the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December, the electors meet in their respective states. Federal law does not permit the states to choose an alternate date for the meeting of electors. If any electors are unable to carry out their duties on the day of the Electoral College meeting, the law of each state would govern the method for filing vacancies. To distribute the pairs certificates of vote and certificates of ascertainment. The 6 pairs of the certificates must be sent to the designated federal and state officials as follows. 1 is sent by registered mail. 2 are sent by registered mail or commercial carrier. 2 are sent to the Secretary of State of each state. One of these is held subject to the order of the President of the United States Senate or the Archivist of the United States in case the electoral votes fail to reach the Senate or the Archivist. The other one is to be preserved by the Secretary of State for public inspection for 1 year. 1 is sent to the Chief Judge of the Federal District Court located where the electors meet. It is held subject to the order of the President of the United States Senate or the Archivist of the United States in case the electoral votes fail to reach the Senate or the Archivist. Prior to the general election, in October of each presidential election year, the archivist sends a letter to the governor of each state and the mayor of the District of Columbia, along with an instruction package prepared by the Office of the Federal Register that sets out the state's responsibilities regarding the Electoral College. The package also includes a quantity of booklets containing applicable federal, constitutional, and statutory provisions regarding presidential elections to be distributed to each elector. Also in the month prior to the election, the OFR contacts the Assistant Secretary of the Senate and the House parliamentarian to make arrangements for the delivery of the Electoral College certificates to Congress. And finally, in the month prior to the election, the OFR prepares to receive the Electoral College certificates from the states. The OFR makes special arrangements with the archivist, mailroom staff, and messenger service to establish procedures for handling the certificates and transmitting them from the archives to the OFR. After the general election, during the week following the general election, the OFR calls the governor's office in each state and the mayor's office in the District of Columbia to make a personal contact with a person responsible for the Electoral College process. In some states, the Secretary of State is the official designated to administer the Electoral College, but other state officials may be assigned this responsibility according to state law or custom. The OFR confirms that materials mailed in October have arrived and reviews the state plans for carrying out their responsibilities.
As President and Vice President, you get housing. The President lives in the White House, which is also the workplace of the President, located in Washington, D.C. The Vice President lives in the #1 Observatory Circle, which is located on the northeast grounds of the United States Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C. When presidents leave office, they are given certain retirement benefits. Presidential retirement benefits were non-existent until the enactment of the Former President Act in 1958. Since then, presidential retirement benefits have included a lifetime annual pension, staff and office allowances, travel expenses, Secret Service protection, and more. Pension. Former presidents are offered a taxable lifetime pension equal to the annual rate of basic pay for the heads of executive branch departments. This amount is set annually by Congress and is currently $205,700 per year. The pension starts the minute the president officially leaves office at noon on Inauguration Day. The transition expensive. For the first 7 months, beginning 1 month before the January 20th inauguration, former presidents get transition funding to help them transition back into private life. Staff and office allowances. 6 months after a president leaves office, he or she gets funds for an office staff. During the first 30 months after leaving office, the former president gets a maximum of $150,000 per year for this purpose. Thereafter, the former president stipulates that the aggregate rates of office compensation for a former president cannot exceed $96,000 annually. Travel expenses. Under a law enacted in 1968, the GSA makes funds available to former presidents and no more than 2 of his or her staff members for travel and related expenses. Travel for pleasure is not compensated. The GSA determines all appropriate costs for travel. With the Secret Service protection. With the enactment of the former President Protection Act of 2012 on January 10, 2013, former presidents and their spouses receive Secret Service protections for a lifetime. Under the Act, protection for the spouses of former presidents terminates in the event of remarriage. Children of former presidents receive protection until they are age 16. The former President's Protection Act of 2012 reversed the law enacted in 1994 that terminated Secret Service protection for former presidents 10 years after they left office. Expenses. Former presidents and their spouses, widows, and minor children are entitled to treatment in military hospitals. Former presidents and their dependents also have the option of enrolling in private health insurance plans at their own expense. State funerals. Former presidents are traditionally granted state funerals with military honors. Details of the funeral are based on the wishes of the former president's family.
Department of State plans and carries out the nation's foreign policies. Was established in 1789. Department of the Treasury was established in 1789. Collects, borrows, spends, and prints money. Department of Defense manages the armed forces. Was established in 1947. Department of Justice has responsibilities for all aspects of law enforcement. Departments of Interior manages and protects the nation's public lands and natural resources. Department of Agriculture assists farms and consumers of farm products. Department of Commerce supervises trade, promotes U.S. tourism and business. Department of Labor concerned with the working conditions and wages of the U.S. workers. Department of Health and Human Services work for the health and well-being of all Americans. Department of Housing and Urban Development deals with special needs and problems of cities. Department of Transportation manages the nation's highways, roads, airlines, and sea traffic. Department of Energy directs an overall energy plan for the nation. Department of Education provides advice and funding for schools. Department of Veterans Affairs directs services for veterans. Department of Homeland Securities oversee America's defenses against terrorist attacks.